Hello again, everybody. I'm Carl Baldassarre. We're back with part 2 of my classic rock riff review of the Alice Cooper Band. We're going to jump into riff number 5, but listen, if you've missed riff number 1, we're going to put the link in the description here, and make sure you check out all of my other episodes on my YouTube channel. All right, let's get into riff number 5 from the Alice Cooper Band.
Lights! Camera! Action!
Okay, for riff number 5, we're going to stay with the album Billion Dollar Babies, and we're going to look at the track Elected. Now, this is one of my favorite Alice Cooper songs. There's really a lot of cool stuff going on. I'm going to break down 3 parts of it for you, so let's get started. So the track opens up with what seems to be a quote from Jimi Hendrix's song Dolly Dagger. It's this little perfect fourth kind of figure that goes something like this. You know, so it sounds like Hendrix, maybe it isn't, but it's pretty cool. But let's get into the meat of this song, Elected. So the verse opens up with these power chords, A, and it kind of goes around and around for the verse, very, very cool. And then it turns into the magical chorus, which I absolutely love. And again, yes, we have another movement of a third. We're going to go from A to F. So we're going to go down a major third. They love that move. And it's a very theatrical sounding move. You know, in Alice Cooper, the whole conceit and conception of what they were about was theater, musical theater. And so it's not unusual to expect an Andrew Lloyd Webber kind of arrangement. And they love these movements of thirds. The fantastic chorus progression comes in after the power chords. Man, I love that chord progression and that rhythm. It actually echoes from one of Who's really great songs from Quadrophenia. That rhythm kind of feels a little bit like Bellboy, you know, which also starts in F. So it's a... You know, and you hear this one. Not that they're exactly the same, nobody copied from anybody, but that's a really, really fun driving rhythm. And I just love this progression because it really is sort of a cycle progression. This goes back to the chord writers and the songwriters in the Alice Cooper Band. They knew how to put songs together. And when I say a cycle progression, I'm talking about either the cycle of fourths or the cycle of fifths. So you kind of have this thing going like this. You know, you kind of have those kind of chords and those kind of relationships of fourths and fifths. So you have the, you know, that kind of movement to a fifth, another fifth, and a fourth. So you got these cycles that really make the thing sound like it's held together. It's so beautiful. I just love it. And the other great thing I love about this song is the orchestration towards the end, when they have the brass section that's coming in, the orchestral brass. It just, they repeat the theme of the rhythm part of the chorus, and then they add this long, long descending gesture of these single notes with the brass. And it starts off kind of in the key of F, it goes then to the key of B flat, and then it quickly modulates to a G and a C sort of arpeggio, and it goes like this, descending over the chords. It has a bit of a Beatles kind of flavor to it, but it's wonderfully written and beautifully orchestrated. I just love this song. And while we're on the talk of orchestration with the rock band, I really want to kind of promote some of the original music that I've done in my career, especially a track on my album called Collinwood Yards. It's called Onward, and it really has a lot of layered brass that I recorded at Abbey Road Studios, and it's a phenomenal mixture of rock and classical brass. So give that song a try. You'll find it on my album Collingwood Yards at carlbaldassarmusic.com. That's carlbaldassarmusic.com.
We looked into the depths of our souls, and he was there.
For riff number 6, we're going to stay right here on the album Billion Dollar Babies, and we're going to go to the track No More Mr. Nice Guy, one of the great iconic rock and roll riffs of all time. Let's have a listen to it. I just love all of the detailing of this riff. It's really, really well played on the album. And he's using these dyads, you know, and I just love the way that he's registering it down, you see? So you've got this little A dyad, kind of an E minor dyad to a G dyad, and then you have this little pull off. And to get that right, you gotta go down to D, open D. I hear a lot of guys doing that, going to the open G, but it's, right? So. And the other thing, if you listen really, really closely to the original recording, I'm hearing this ghost kind of E minor with a B on top. I can't make up my mind if it's just an accidental harmonic that is just interacting with the other struck strings there to create the sound, or if he's actually striking it. If you listen to the riff that way I played it on the 4th time, I actually hit it on purpose just so it would be there. So it's is it there or isn't it there? Are you hearing that B? Or is it just the G? I think it's in there actually. And the verse of the song is really well written as well. I keep talking about just what good composers they were, but this progression is fantastic. You know, it has the tonic, the A, it goes to the 3rd, the minor chord, the C sharp minor. It goes to a lowered 7, a G major, and then to a 6th, a minor, and a 4/5. So. Right? And so just really well written, man. I just love this song.
Welcome, curious friends. Come, I have more beauty to show you.
All right, for riff number 7, we're going to November 20th, 1973. This is the title track from the album Muscle of Love. And this album is the last album by the original Alice Cooper band. So let's take a look at this really, really cool riff, Muscle of Love. That is a barn burner of opening riff and lick to a song. So coming out of these verse parts, you know, where you have these perfect fourths, you got the so after the verse chords, we get into these really cool progressions, which have these borrowed 6, lowered 7, 1 progressions, and we do it 2 different ways. The first one starts on C. So we have the first one starting on C to D to E, so we have the borrowed 6, lowered 7, 1 chord, and then we start on G on the next one, which is a perfect 4th down. We have the borrowed 6 with the G. We have the lowered 7, which is A, and then we have the B, which is the 1 here. So I just love how they do that progression, but the twist on that towards the end, when they start getting into this kind of, you know, triplety kind of digging, you know, they start arpeggiating those lines going up those progressions. So it's a It's really, really cool. And at the end of each one of those, they're actually just doing sort of a dominant seventh arpeggio. On the E and then on the B. So really, really cool. They love all these lines and these beautiful melodic gestures on top of their power chords. So I think they were a really, really cool band.
Now I must play the final scene. You're going home. Come!
And now for riff number 8, the last riff that we're going to examine on my Alice Cooper Classic Rock Riff Review. We're going to go to the album Welcome to My Nightmare, which was released in March of 1975, which was a truly great year for rock riffs. Hint, hint, you should take a look at my 2 episodes on all the great classic rock riffs from 1975. This one could have been part of it. But we're going to take a look at the song Devil's Food and take a look at the riffs on this one. They're very tasty. I should mention that the great actor Vincent Price did the voiceover on this song, and he's really well known for horror movies. He also did the voiceover for Michael Jackson's Thriller. We have to give a tip of the cap to good old Vincent Price, a nice little slice of Americana himself. So for the main riff, it's a really big, slow, creeping riff. Here it goes. Man, that is a big serpent that's just slithering. It really is quite a nightmare sounding riff. So excellent. And if you want to play that riff right, make sure that you're picking all of the notes in the opening lick. Here it goes, like this. No pull-offs. No hammer-ons. It's picked. So make sure you get that if you want to get that sound. Again, I got to point out how clever this music is, because in this song you get something really unusual, and that is that when you go to the chorus, you get a modulation a half step down. You don't really see that often, especially not in rock and roll. This is so cool. So they take from the main riff so when it goes from C to D, we actually get a tritone substitution. They're going to drop from the D to an A flat. Check it out. And lo and behold, when they go to the A flat, it becomes the 4 of the key of E flat. So we're modulating from E down to E flat, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's lifting. Check it out. We're going to go, when we do the modulation, it's going to be the tritone sub of D, going to A flat, which becomes the 4, going to 5, and 1, E flat. So check it out. I'll play them together for you. And all of a sudden, we're in the key of E flat. Magic. Part of the stagecraft of the band Alice Cooper. It's been a lot of fun working on these riffs and learning all these songs. I know I probably left some of them out, and I would be happy to do part 3. Be sure to go back and look for episode 1. I've got the link in the description. But please send me your suggestions on any other Alice Cooper riffs you want me to cover. And thank you for following me, and those of you, if you like this, please hit the like button, subscribe, share it. We're trying to grow our subscriber base. It really helps us keep this channel going. I'm really appreciative. Thank you. I'm Carl Baldassarre, and we'll see you again.